The Eastern Mediterranean. Whose lake is it today? Greek, Turkish, Russian or migrant? With Turkey a NATO stalwart leaning towards Russia, there are some countries that are too big to ignore. So, which one do we choose? Join me, Jan Darasz, for How We Got Here.
The Greco-Turkish struggle for the Aegean dates back to the incursion of the Seljuk Turks into Byzantium's eastern Anatolia in the 11th century. Greek control over Aegean waters gradually diminished over centuries up until the fall of Constantinople in 1453, when Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II conquered the city and with it took hold of the Strait of Bosporus, a vital trade gateway connecting the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara and thus Asia and Europe. The Greco-Turkish feud was reignited following the Second World War, when Greeks, tempted by the Allies' promises of territorial gains at the expense of the Ottoman Empire, launched a military campaign into Western Anatolia, once part of ancient Greece and the Byzantine Empire. After an initially sweeping advance, the Greek front collapsed following a loss at the Battle of the Sakarya in 1921. The war effectively ended with the Greek government accepting the demands of the Turkish national movement and signing the Treaty of Lausanne that recognized the independence of the Republic of Turkey and its sovereignty over Anatolia, Istanbul, and eastern Thrace. The animosities reached a new high in July 1974 when the Turkish military, responding to Greek junta-sponsored Cypriot coup d'etat, captured the northern part of the island, leaving it split into two spheres of influence. Recently, there was some effort at ending Turkey's decades-long spat over its maritime borders with Greece. On Wednesday, the Greek Foreign Ministry announced that the two countries plan to explore whether they could start talks aimed at demarcating their maritime zones. The matter is crucial for determining rights over possible gas reserves and power infrastructure schemes. But negotiations are rendered difficult by the issue of illegal migration. Recently, Turkish media outlets published videos allegedly showing Greek vessels chasing migrant boats all the way to the coast of Turkey's Muğla province. In a phone call with the Greek Minister of Maritime and Insular Policy, Turkey's Interior Minister expressed discomfort, stressing that such violations were unacceptable.
I'm delighted today to be joined by Dr. Bruno Surdel. He is a security analyst at the Centre of International Relations and also a lecturer at Warsaw University, among others. So welcome to the programme.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. We'll start off, first of all, with this tension between Greece and Turkey about the coast guards chasing the migrants onto the Turkish coast. Could you outline, is this what happens on both sides? Do they infringe their borders routinely, or is this a one-off thing?
I think it's a part of the eternal game between Turkey and Greece, and also Turkish planes regularly, routinely infringe on Greece airspace, yes, Greek territory.
Yeah.
So it's not the first time. It happens frequently, yes, and always there is outrage in Turkey, outrage in Greece, and always they say they would, of course, try to resolve that issue. And it never happens, and they do that again.
But they meet with each other regularly, do they?
Yeah, they meet regularly because they know that they need to cooperate, even if that cooperation or collaboration is extremely difficult because of historical reasons and hate-love history between them.
So where do we start with this love-hate relationship between Greece and Turkey? 13th century, 12th, 11th, 12th centuries?
I think 11th century with the big battle between Eastern Roman Empire and Alparslan, who was a sultan of Turks at that time, yes? It started that time, and later everybody knows, yes,
it's gone downhill from there.
fall of Constantinople. Yeah.
And you mentioned before we came on air about this, cherishing the memory. Both sides seem to cherish their history or their enmity between each other. And you mentioned that this was for the domestic, their respective domestic electorates. Could you just outline that for us as well? Take us into that, especially on the Turkish side.
Yeah. As I've said, that everybody knows that the problem between Turkey and Greece are of a historical nature, and they cannot change the trajectory. They cannot change these relations. But also, they know they need to cooperate. Especially before elections, every parliamentary, every presidential elections, there are tensions growing between Turkey and Greece. Such incidents like recently, yes, coast guards or planes flying over territories, they happen much more frequently. And what we can see too are new maps printed in Turkey with new territories very similar to Ottoman Empire, with Cyprus being part of Turkey. Even I saw such maps when, I spent 5 years in Turkey. I saw such maps being printed before elections there.
But is this, we know that, for example, Russia has made this idea of claiming ancient lands a reality in the Ukraine. Is there any evidence to suggest that President Erdogan will do that, will realise these maps and their ancient dominions? Or is it, again, it's just this one of these bargaining chips to pressurise sides to play one side against another? What's behind all this?
It's President Erdogan's neo-Ottoman dream, of course, yes. So every election cycle, yes, they invent something new. Just, it was like 2 years ago, there's a problem with alleged militarization of Greek islands. And on the other hand, Turkey was claiming that actually those islands are Turkish islands. If you Greeks continue with that alleged militarization, we'll think what to do. We'll take proper steps, which was a very clear threat to Athens, to Greece. Yeah, but on the other hand, I think is very long game between Turkey and Greece, and it serves, in my view, mostly voters, yes, to satisfy nationalist voters. And in both countries, Turkey and Greece, nationalism is unfortunately a huge problem.
You mentioned during your sojourn in Turkey about the nationalism of Turkish society. Can you tell us a bit about that? You mentioned it's very virulent. It had Greek converts to Muslims, to Islam. So the nationalism is the driving force of Turkey. This greater Turkey.
I think so. And nationalism is fueled, especially in such situations, in such period in history of modern Turkish Republic when economy is going down. Yeah, and we know from other countries, also we know from China and also Russia, yes, that some leaders try to focus on other problems, yes, on nationalism, expansion, if economy is going bad. Yeah.
And what's the status of President Erdogan's diplomatic power game. He's a very adroit, very clever. You mentioned very charismatic president. About to start his last presidency term of office. Where does Turkey fit into this jigsaw puzzle? We seem to know Greece seems to be a minor player in the Eastern Mediterranean, but he's cherishing. He's making his relations with Russia warmer, rapprochement with Russia, China. What's his talent in all this? Where is Turkey going to stand?
President Erdogan is a very smart politician who knows how to play in geopolitics. Yeah. So if there's a problem with the United States, yes, or with the European Union, by the way, European Union is defending Europe, European Union doors or gates against Turkey. Of course, the Turks are not satisfied, are not happy with this situation. Just imagine so many decades waiting for membership in the European Union. So we should also consider this, yes, that from Turkish perspective, the European Union has been behaving, I would say, not very nice. It was not a very nice game, yes, because now everybody knows that Turkey has no chance to join the European Union. So Turkish foreign policy is very serious, and Turkey is a very serious nation. And President Erdogan is a very serious politician. And what he has been doing as regards the European Union, you remember NATO, yes? Why? For one simple reason. In 2019, Turkey was rejected from the F-35 project, yes? And Turkey is one of just few nations was that technologically advanced to work, I would say, constructively on that F-35 project. And President Trump, for some reason, decided to throw out Turkey from this project. Yeah, and now
so they bought the S-400.
Yes, exactly. S-400. But at the same time, United States was not ready to provide for Turkey the same air protection, air defense as Russia.
Fellow NATO partner.
Exactly. So we need also to understand Turkish perspective, yeah? And both United States and Europe, they have made many mistakes as regards Turkey. And as I told you, Turkey is a serious country which is pursuing its own strategic geopolitical interests, and they're trying to do that in a very successful way.
So it wants also to, or it's said that it wants to join the BRICS organization, and in order to snub the EU, for example.
It's part of the game, of a long game, I would say long march, yes, of Turkey towards being much more than regional power, yeah? And Turkey is one of just, few countries in the world is trying seriously to make an independent foreign policy, yeah? Of course, there are some restrictions, economic restraints, but anyway, they're trying to do that. But to your question, I don't think Turkey is seriously considering to join the BRICS or even less Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Who is the real leader of Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Beijing, China.
Is this an idea that President Erdogan can't accept a more powerful individual in his or to be subordinate in any organization? He has to be the top man. Is there questions of prestige there?
When I was in Turkey, many Turks told me repeatedly that the first place in the world in the ranking of most powerful countries is United States. The second place is occupied by Turkey. It says something, yeah? But I think that is these are tactical moves on the part of Turkey. If you make such problems as regards, a purchase of military equipment we badly need, I mean F-35 or F-15, if you, the European Union, play with us a very nasty game for many decades, yes, what else can we do? We are doing the same. Yeah? So we are pretending to that we want to join the BRICS, where, who are members, Russia, China, or Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is supposed to be like, a competitor to NATO. And Turkey, at the same time, is one of the most important members of NATO with very huge army, second in the alliance. So, the situation is like this. But I think it's a game. I don't think Turkey or President Erdogan wants to really to join BRICS or NATO. But there is one big issue here, one big if. If they make many small steps towards membership in those organizations. On the other hand, if the European Union and the United States make many small important mistakes, they may be a point of no return. And this is the problem. The same with Russia. Yeah.
What's the current state of the balance of power in the Eastern Mediterranean? Is it that Turkey is undoubtedly the power in the region? It's got a antagonism with Israel, for example, rapprochement towards Russia in the Black Sea. China is you mentioned earlier that it's got a relationship with China. It's undoubtedly the premier regional power in that part of the Mediterranean.
Yes, I think so. Just look at Turkey's policies as regards grain crisis, yes? Just that only Turkey was able to gather both Ukrainians and Russians. Of course, United Nations was there, yes, Secretary Guterres, but it was just Turkey. No other force in the world, no other country was able to do that. I forget, all these problems and that Russia finally abandoned it, but only Turkey, is still able to talk to Kiev, and is very friendly to Kiev, yes, and friendly to Russia. And Russia accepts that because they don't have this kind of friends, only Turkey.
A final question to you, Doctor. Is this one of the advantages of not being in an organisation like the European Union? Why should Turkey want to join the European Union when it can have its own dynamic, independent foreign policy?
When I traveled, and actually, as I told you, I spent 5 years in Turkey, and when I settled there for 5 years in 2011, many Turks were saying, we want to join the European Union, yeah? Also for next 5 years, they were saying, confirming that. But when I was leaving Turkey, the situation changed dramatically. Yeah, just why the Turks wanted, especially young Turks, wanted to join the European Union. 2 factors: free travel, no visa, and job opportunities, not culture.
Yes.
Yeah, the Turks are very proud, yes, of their culture. They don't want to abandon it. On the other hand, the Turks think they can enrich the European culture and Europe as such. The first time in history, now let's go for a minute to politics, this kind of Turkish party in Germany with connections, ties to President Erdogan and AK Party, see. What is interesting, and this is something.
Yes, Turkey's on all these levels you mentioned a very, very serious player, and it should be taken seriously. Dr. Surdel, unfortunately we've run out of time, but that's a very great pleasure to have you on the programme.
Yeah, let me say something. Turkey is a friend of Poland, and Poland is friend of Turkey, and it's going to be like that.
Long may it be so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that's all we have time for today. Do join us next time again on How We Got Here.